High school inventors get a chance to show off their work, and Shawnee Mission receives honors for a decade of training future engineers. Middle school students learn from those who fought to keep America free. Students from elementary to high school take on the Sustainability Challenge. And one Shawnee Mission Elementary School celebrates a major milestone, its Sesquicentennial. It's all ahead on this episode of Spotlight on Shawnee Mission. Welcome to Spotlight on Shawnee Mission. I'm your host, Leanne Neal. Success of Shawnee Mission's Project Lead the Way was celebrated recently as engineering students and the district were honored for their work.
Well, this is the Engineering Design and Development Showcase that occurs every year. It's a culmination of a year's worth of work for our students on the same problem that they've been trying to solve. And so it's an exciting event in that students from all over the Kansas City area are bringing their projects here to basically do a trade show format.
For Ryan, the challenge was to design a better knee pad.
So we've combined the hard shell knee pads and we've made multiple little hard shells, well not hard shells, multiple little pieces that combines and protects you just as well as the hard shell. And they're attached to the sleeve that gives you comfort and flexibility like the soft shell knee pads.
The idea is to press this button.
Antonio says people in his family were the inspiration behind his team's invention.
Many elderly or people just take the wrong dosage, wrong medication, or just wrong time in general. So in order to counteract that, our solution is to make sure that, let's say you want to take a medicine out one at a time, once per day or something. You press the button, out comes one, and done.
This is a pinnacle of the year. It's the highlight. I've been talking it up to them all year long, and so now it's showtime, and it's like the ultimate event for the year.
There's a lot of great projects here and everything. I see bright and future engineers right here, ready to take over, because the baby boomers, they're all about to retire and everything, and as this generation is about to move forward and take over.
I love the showcase and coming down to Union Station to see everybody's project and what they've been working on. It gives people a chance to see that their hard work is not gone unrecognized, and to show off our products and been working on it a year, that really brings us a lot of joy to know that people actually took consideration and time to look into what we've done.
So it's really a great transition up the ladder of really learning what it's like to be an engineer and learning how to do the type of work.
And it shows us real problem solving, having real problems to try to figure it out.
Alec and Remy came up with a way to encourage more glass recycling with a device that crushes and compacts the glass, making it more efficient and requiring fewer trips to the recycling center. The team's online work received a Top 10 Engineering Design Contest honor.
We did not expect that at all, so that's not actually for our physical project, but it's for our innovation portal, which is our online documentation. It's kind of like an online portfolio, really.
These budding engineers credit the district's Project Lead the Way curriculum with giving them a head start.
It gives you that concept of, failure is not just failure, it's actually a success. It's one step closer to your final solution, your final product.
This particular program is really important for the students to understand the relevance of the math and science they're learning, and it gives them a viable career option as they leave high school and think about what's coming next for them for their educational pathway and then ultimately a career.
Representatives from colleges and universities like to attend this show to scout out prospective students. And they're not the only ones interested in these young engineers and their ideas.
We also have venture capitalists who are here looking for the most marketable projects. So students today have an opportunity to compete for scholarship money, but also for an opportunity to participate in an entrepreneurship workshop based off of the marketability of their project.
So the first winner, project named Med Buddy, from Shawnee Mission South. Will Drew Brooks and Nicholas Fowler please walk up?
So we made a product that safely and consistently distributes medications for individuals. We noticed that a large issue in America is individuals that need to take medications every day. They have a hard time taking those medications each morning.
I'm extremely excited to go beyond the classes and work with other companies and other people to help us build this product. I'm extremely shocked that we were nominated for top 5 inventor award, and that was just shocking to me. I'm so excited.
In addition to the honors that Shawnee Mission students received, the district was honored for its 10th anniversary of participating in Project Lead the Way.
The Kauffman Foundation identified Project Lead the Way as a leading STEM curriculum and helped bring it to Kansas City. And so we are recognizing 10 school districts, Shawnee Mission School District being one of them, who's been involved in the implementation of Project Lead the Way over those 10 years.
I think it's an amazing investment that the Shawnee Mission learning community has made to really maximize learning opportunities for all kids. So to be a part of the 10-year recognition group and a very small group of school districts that are being recognized, I feel like it's another opportunity that Shawnee Mission has really been blazing a trail for excellence for all learners.
So what's on the horizon? Shawnee Mission's Project Lead the Way is adding computer science curriculum at the high school level and expanding the Project Lead the Way launch program to all elementary schools in the coming year.
There's a middle school program, and in the Shawnee Mission School District, along with some of our other school district partners, they're implementing an elementary curriculum called Launch. So we're really excited that students now have access from kindergarten to 12th grade, a very robust and rigorous STEM curriculum.
I believe that if we give our kids opportunities to do real work, relevant work, high rigorous work, they will exceed our expectations as they are doing here today.
I feel tremendously blessed to have Project Lead the Way. I've taken 5 different classes from Project Lead the Way, and it's without a doubt prepared me for college much better than I would have been.
I agree. I'm so grateful that we have this program here in the Shawnee Mission School District. Being in 5 classes and knowing that this is what I want to do in life and that I'm able to succeed and be good at it, and choosing which college because of Project Lead the Way is fantastic.
This event brought together 330 students from 30 schools, making it the largest event of its kind in the country. Speaking of future careers, 6th graders at Broken Arrow are putting a fresh twist on the traditional career fair.
I would like to be a veterinarian because I have a really big passion for animals, like I have since I was little. Yeah, that's just my dream job.
Katrina and her fellow 6th graders use technology to power their research and presentations.
The iPad helped us a lot because not everything you can look up in a book, so we just used the internet and got different perspectives of like the different websites and what you need to be a vet and stuff.
Can you teach me how to dab?
Anthony researched being a DJ and then used an iPad music app to add some punch to his final presentation.
I used GarageBand, so I used the update to help me with my project.
They're learning the 6th grade objectives, but it's not the traditional open a book, read a story, and answer comprehension questions. So I think that's what they love about it.
As part of the research, the 6th graders conducted interviews with individuals who hold the jobs in which they are interested. For some, this meant conducting online video interviews with individuals out of state.
We were able to connect with people by doing FaceTimes and phone interviews. We had a student that interviewed film directors in LA, for example, and we wouldn't have been able to do that without the technology.
I have not failed. I've just found out 10,000 ways this will not work. Thomas Edison. It's probably one of my favorite quotes.
Logan, who plans to be an inventor, infused his presentation with wise words from other innovators.
It just says basically you have not failed, you just figure out other ways not to do it. And that just gives you a lot of confidence.
I just wanted them to look beyond what they see in their home environment and what they see on TV. A lot of our students are only exposed to what their immediate family members might do for work and then professional athletes or famous people. And so I wanted them to look beyond that and say, hey, there are a lot of other opportunities out there. What do you like to do?
The students shared what they had learned about becoming veterinarians, astrophysicists, cosmetologists, teachers, chefs, lawyers, and neonatologists, to name a few.
My career is interior decorating, and it takes a lot of work. Sometimes you have to work long hours, but the pay is pretty good.
My project is about being a chef, and I've always wanted to be a chef since I was little. It's based around what my interests.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. You got to learn a lot more things that you didn't really know before, and you got to you had more time to research and like really learn what you wanted to do when you grow up.
The students invited members of the community and students in kindergarten through 5th grade to visit their career fair. Up next, construction won't be complete until after they've graduated, but that's not stopping a group of 6th graders who hope to leave a lasting impression on their elementary school.
Hello, my name is Allison, and I read the realistic fiction book Words with Rings, written by Nikki Grimes. This is a book written in verse. It starts with a young girl named Gabby, who is a daydreamer. She uses her dreams as an escape from her parents' fighting. If you say dragon, she's off in another dream about fighting a fire-breathing dragon with nothing but a sword and shield. These dreams have started to affect her school life. Will she ever stop daydreaming? Will her parents ever stop fighting? Will she ever get her head on straight? You'll have to read this book to find out. I rate this book 4.5 stars out of 5 stars. Read this book.
Welcome back. Could you design a 21st century learning environment that's sustainable for the next 50 years and makes a positive impact on the surrounding community? It may sound like a tall task, but a group of 6th graders appears to be up to the challenge.
So last week we brainstormed as many questions as we could think of related to your topic. So today what you're going to be working on in your groups is you're going to be trying to narrow down your questions.
Every day, these 6th graders can see the new Trailwood Elementary taking shape right outside their windows. Even though they'll be in middle school when the new building opens, they're working on a way to have an impact.
So we're doing challenge-based learning. It's a project where we take a challenge. In this case, it's how can we, as 6th graders, improve the new Trailwood school that we will not get to go to without actually being there. And we take that challenge and we do research on that and we come up with ideas about it.
The 6th graders divided into groups to research different aspects of the new building, from outdoor play spaces and garden spaces to interior designs for furniture, room layout, and specialty rooms. And with their extensive experience in elementary matters, these 6th graders have plenty of thoughts about the new space.
Well, we've come up with a lot of cool ideas for some special rooms that we're making. For example, we might just have a quiet room, a homework room. And I really like that we can just make those rooms. So I like the special rooms that we're making.
Yeah, it'll be different in a lot of ways. We won't have a basement. We'll have a 2nd floor, which will be cool. And I'm sure we'll have a lot more comfortable, scientifically proven to help kids kind of things. We may have in the future, maybe not as soon as it's built, but touchscreen whiteboards or built-in touchscreen chairs.
They've been very excited about it, especially since they won't get to go to the new Trailwood. And for years, probably since they were in kindergarten, we've been talking about getting a new building. And so this is a way for them to have an impact and give their input on something that will hopefully be a part of their community. And one of the little guys over there just asked me, why didn't you have 5th grade do this? And well, 5th grade is going to be at the new school, but we want to hear from you because you'll still live in the community and be a part of it, and you should care about what the school is like.
Well, I picture a lot of more technology and just it being more open almost, and having a lot more areas to store things and a lot of extra rooms and just more specialized, which would be really cool.
When the students are finished, they will present their proposals to the district. But first, there's more work to do.
We've had our ideas, and now we're narrowing them down and finding resources that we can use to answer questions about these ideas we have.
They are excited, they're interested, they're motivated, and they're engaged because it's something authentic and real to them, not something that the teacher decided was important.
I hope that it's more like, not like kid friendly, but just like energetic kind of, because right now it's just like kind of beige almost, but like I hope it'll be like more fun for like the more kids to be around.
The collaborative nature of challenge-based learning is a bit different than classroom instruction. Gilgis credits Trailwood's 6th grade teachers with the inspiration for this project.
I'm really happy these teachers allow this to go on. I think they're comfortable with being flexible with the kids' learning and allowing this time to happen and feel like it's meaningful and important.
I really enjoy challenge-based learning because it's a lot more fun than just having a sheet of paper and answering your questions. It's a lot more fun than just doing that. It's a lot more, plus because we'll have an impact on what's going to happen. That always makes me want to do my best on it and really makes me want to think about it more.
From elementary to high school, students across Shawnee Mission continue their search for sustainable solutions. Check out the district's first Sustainability Youth Summit.
We want to welcome you here this morning to the first ever Shawnee Mission Sustainability Youth Summit. We hope to use this model as an approach for involving our students and helping us set our sustainability goals for the future of the district.
Today we have invited students from all around the district to come and talk about what issues are most important to them. They are the future of our community, and so we want to have them involved in determining what the priorities are for the district in terms of sustainability and how to make sure that our community is as sustainable as possible.
So this is basically like think tank for high schoolers about just different ways that we can make our environment, both our school environment and our community environment, thinking on a broader scale, more sustainable.
We asked you here today because we're serious about using your ideas.
This is a very interesting youth summit that they've given to us to give us an opportunity to help each other learn and to teach us. And I think it's very interesting that they're actually going to use our ideas.
What you're doing here is important. First of all, I want you to know that. And that you raised your hand to be involved in this process is great.
The summit was held at Johnson County Community College, which launched its Center for Sustainability in 2009.
So I think the idea is students can come here and talk to a few of us who've already done these things, get some feedback, get some advice, and walk around campus and see what these things look like when they are actually installed on a campus.
And you're going to spend about 3 minutes listing the top 5 issues that you think are most important for us to tackle.
During the morning session, students divided into groups. Each was challenged to come up with a list of 5 sustainability topics for the district.
We talked about the fact that we could possibly implement like a carpool lane and maybe a carpool orientated bus, or just areas that are more convenient to get to, closer to the entrances.
After all the ideas were presented, it was time to narrow it down to 6 areas for closer study.
We have education and student involvement, we have energy, we have health, which was defined as student health, teacher health, garden and natural areas. Efficiency was kind of a high-level theme. In relation to that was energy, water, and transportation.
Up next, a round of brainstorming solutions.
So I'm going to start out with what prevents the Shawnee Mission District from being efficient.
Right now we're talking about the biggest issues and how we can, what the problems are and how we can actually fix them. So we're going around and everyone's giving their own ideas just about how they can contribute.
I wish I had this opportunity in high school. This is really cool to get students involved. So far they've had a lot of really good ideas, and I think that it's actually going to make a difference.
It's been an excellent morning. We've had lots of participation, not only from our students and our administration, but we have community members here, elected officials, professionals, sitting in with our students, sharing their expertise and contributing to the process. So it's been excellent. and the students are completely engaged.
I think it's cool that they are like listening to high schoolers, because we have ideas, but sometimes adults write us off because we're kids.
Sustainability concepts will play an important role in our communities in the future. I'm excited to have this many young people interested in the topic and reaching for more information.
After lunch, the students had an opportunity to see sustainability in action with a tour of Galileo's pavilion on the community college campus. This LEED certified building includes an interior living wall filled with plants and a wind turbine on top.
I hope that they learn that through public work, whether intentional or accidental, they can really make a difference in their communities. They can improve their communities. They can enrich their communities in ways they never really thought they could in the past.
I think this is a really good way to involve students, because I think a lot of times students think like their voices aren't being heard in a school environment and a day-to-day kind of thing, but coming here and being able to like put your ideas forth and talk about other people with them really makes you feel like change is happening, which is really good, I think, for students to experience.
Middle school students hear what it was like to fight for America's freedom from those who served. Plus, Johnson County election officials helped to make student council elections the real deal when Spotlight on Shawnee Mission returns. Welcome back. Do you remember what it was like the first time you voted? Were you apprehensive? Did you understand the process? Students at Shawnee Mission North do, because they had a chance to try the real thing with a little help from the Johnson County Election Office.
So today we're having Stuco elections. So what we're doing is we're basically having a real world election held here at our school. And I talked to my administrator about this process, and we just wanted more voting, and we also wanted to inspire kids to vote when in the real world elections. So I think it's a really cool opportunity that we're doing.
Social studies teachers are trying to create sort of a lesson to go along with the voting. So they're going to talk to their students about civic responsibility. We want them to understand the process, and especially in an election year.
And what grade will you be next year?
And so what you're seeing is authentic learning taking place right here at Shawnee Mission North. And we're excited for our students to have this opportunity, giving our students the skill set, the knowledge to know what it looks like to vote and have that right to vote, and what it looks like in a voting poll.
This year we partnered with Johnson County Elections to create an authentic experience for our students. So we're always trying to give them a sense of purpose and authenticity.
This is a very cool opportunity for us to help students learn how to get more civically engaged in the process of voting, and even more deeply than that, running their own student body elections. And so today we're actually using taxpayer-funded Johnson County Election Office voting machines, which will be used in the presidential election later this year. And they are in the school library here at Shawnee Mission North High School, where the Student Government Exec Board is administrating their election of the class officers for next year's sophomore, junior, and senior class, and the Pep Club officers as well.
So students come in and they give us their name and we highlight it. They sign the name that says they're not signing for anyone else. They get this little voter receipt, and I think it's very efficient, and I think it's really good, and we're definitely going to have more people vote, and it'll definitely have a more accurate result in the end.
One thing, it's also given our students in our building, our student leaders, the opportunity to have that skill set of leading, and so they'll be able to volunteer in the future and make some money at the same time doing that.
And so they have learned how to run an election, And therefore, we will recruit these students and others like them to be election workers as we enter the presidential election later this year and the primary in general in August and November. And we have to recruit 2,000 election workers for every election that we do in Johnson County.
I hope students are learning that voting is important, and that I hope they take this initiative step to vote in the real world elections. So this way they have like an idea of how the voting process works, and they'll feel like they want to continue that after they leave high school.
Our thanks to the Johnson County Election Office for providing our students with a real-world election experience. A group of students at Westridge Middle School recently learned about history from the people who lived it.
Well, I was in a lot of foxholes. Every night you were in a foxhole.
Ed Boswell, a U.S. Marine who fought in the Battle of Iwo Jima, spoke to students about his experience in World War II. One story he told was about sharing a foxhole with a Marine who had just arrived.
He was so scared he couldn't talk. And my sergeant came along and he got shot coming into the hole and he died right there with me.
Students had a lot of questions for this veteran. Questions about what he ate, where he slept, and if he had any regrets.
War is not pleasant. It's a terrible thing. Learn what's going on in the world, and you're the ones who are going to be taking over one of these days, and if you can settle things in the world peacefully, that's the way to do it.
I hope that they just really get a sense of respect for the veterans and an importance of respect for our country and what all of these veterans have done for them.
It was a life-changing experience. It was rough. I mean, like you usually learn like games or stuff like that. It's not that bad, but I mean, after hearing the cold hard truth, it just all sounds awful. Like so many people got killed.
I understand you've written more letters for our flight on May the 3rd.
Parsons history students write letters of thanks to veterans like Boswell. The letters are distributed during honor flights, which take World War II veterans to visit war memorials in Washington, D.C.
What happens with your letters is on the way back from D.C. we have a mail call. Now what's fun about that is a lot of these men and women who were veterans in World War II and some Koreans, they were where they couldn't get mail. So we gather mail from students like you all, family members and friends, and on the way back we have mail call. It's a pretty special time. There are a lot of tears.
U.S. Navy veteran Gene Olson, who is on the board of Heartland Honor Flight, had a special request of the students.
One of the things I would like to ask you is if you've got an aunt, an uncle, a grandma, a grandfather, or even a close acquaintance that was a World War II veteran, we want to get them to D.C. They're disappearing, kids. They're disappearing fast.
Everybody had a picture card. Why? Because you couldn't buy stuff in the store.
Gary Swanson, founder of Heartland Honor Flight, told the students about victory gardens, scrap metal drives, and rationing during World War II.
Gas was rationed. You couldn't get gas. What any point in having a car? Most people didn't have a car. Why? Because you couldn't get gas for it. You had a dry ration book. Maybe you'd get 2 gallons a month.
We want them to know a little bit about what went on. And if we can get our veterans here for interviews, that gives them a first-hand account. Even though we don't have much time, it does give them a first-hand account of what went on.
It brings back a lot of memories sometimes. It's hard for me to do, but to get them the knowledge that they want, well, I'm willing to speak to them.
A big thank you to these volunteers for sharing their perspectives and experiences. What a powerful way to bring history to life for our students. Up next, Prairie Elementary celebrates 150 years of educating students.
My name is Macy.
And I'm Bryn.
And we read the biography,
The Mad Potter by Sandra Jordan and Jane Greenberg.
A book about Georgie Orr, aka the guy with the long mustache.
We think this book has the potential of winning because we can see everything that he goes through.
Yes, he goes through many jobs, but that did not stop his dream of becoming a potter.
His pots didn't interest many people back then, but now they're in museums and worth thousands of dollars.
That's right, he's got grit. In other words,
he gave it his all,
did things over if necessary,
ignored giving up,
and took the time to do it right.
That's right, he seemed like a go with the flow kind of guy.
We rate this book 4.5 stars.
Well, I guess we must ask you a question.
Will you read this book, The Mad Potter? We promise you'll like it.
Welcome back. 1866. It was the year that root beer was invented, Jesse James held up his first bank, and President Andrew Jackson declared the Civil War was over. 1866 was also the first year for Prairie Elementary, and today, 150 years later, the school continues its tradition of excellence in education.
Prairie, Prairie, P-R-A-I-E. Prairie, Prairie, P-R-A-I-E.
There was plenty of pomp and circumstance to celebrate Prairie Sesquicentennial, including a Certificate of Achievement presented by the Kansas Legislature.
This is a significant milestone for our community and our school district, since its doors first opened in 1866.
Congratulations, Prairie. You are the first school in the state of Kansas to reach the 150-year milestone. We wanted to acknowledge the accomplishment, the fact that this school is the center of this community is without a doubt. And I just want to share my congratulations, and I look forward to the future that this community has surrounding this school. Thank you so much.
It is truly the center of our community. Prairie School has been, since its inception, this school represents quality, superior, excellent education.
Well, in Prairie, you're not just looking at an isolated school, and so there's a real sense of community, and the kids really understand those components, and they feel like that they're a continuation of it, including often finding moms or dads or grandparents' pictures up in the hallway who went here decades ago.
I am the third generation of people in my family that have gone to Prairie. My mother went to Prairie many years ago. Her 6th grade class picture is on the wall across from the Spanish room. She calls it her awkward year.
Well, the 150-year anniversary has been very interesting because it's simultaneously taking place during a year of us rolling out the iPad and Apple one-to-one implementation across the district, which is really a vanguard moment of the district adopting technology wide and then pushing it through with the children through the years. At the same time, we are going back and doing activities that would have been popular or have been more normal during the 150 years ago. So we've had one-room schoolhouses where we have kids all the way from kindergarten to 6th grade, and they're all in one room. And it's been an ongoing dialogue throughout the year of what kind of school are we, who have we been in the past, and then what does that look like going into the future?
I think it's fun that we're doing all these activities because it's like made it different than any other school year that we've really had here. And there are kids that volunteered to do like little live statues talking about different time periods that have happened. I mean, I've only been here for 6 years, but I mean, I feel like I have been here for so long, and it's been cool to like experience such like a cool like old school and stuff.
Now, in 2016, there are no cows near Prairie. While Mom and Uncle Bill used paper and pencil to do their work, my classmates and I use iPads. My iPad has the same amount of technology that sent men to the moon.
The most exciting part of it is really looking at what it takes for a community to keep a school going, but also to make it thrive and become a place that all the kids around here and the families really want to be a part of.
It's a perfect example of why Prairie is so special. All the people who come out and want to be a part of this activity. I was involved in the pickle making with the first graders. So Johnson County Community College grew and donated a whole bunch of cucumbers for us. We took those cucumbers and pickled them with the kids, and each student got to take home a jar of fresh refrigerator pickles to share with their family.
One of the best finds from the past was made by a district maintenance crew. It was some fireplace moldings that likely came from Prairie's very first building.
So the fireplaces are easily 100 years old, and they were going to trash them, want to know if we wanted them. And so we had those down the basement trying to think of something good to do with it, and our parents and our 150th committee came up with the idea to bring it up, have everybody sign it, and then just, you know, keep it for as long as it'll be around.
Another interesting artifact was a collection of old bricks salvaged from the Prairie building that burned in 1990. These bricks, which were stamped with the year or the Prairie symbol, were originally part of a fundraiser for a new gym floor after the fire.
What they did was they sold the bricks for $50 a piece, and we had leftover bricks for 25 years sitting in the basement, so we brought them back up, and they're selling at a discount this time around for $20. So, and we had a lot of alumni come back asking actually specifically about those.
Some things have not changed about Prairie. The teachers are kind and compassionate, the sense of community remains, but school lunches still need improvement. When asked what his favorite class was, Uncle Bill said recess. That hasn't changed either. Someday, I hope my kids graduate and go to Prairie. It is interesting to think about what school will be like then.
Happy 150th birthday, Prairie, and we wish you many, many more. That's all the time we have for this episode of Spotlight on Shawnee Mission. Join us again as we continue to feature the programs and people of Shawnee Mission who are helping guide students to success. Thank you for watching.